everybody. It's indeed a very good opportunity to meet each one of you today in this hall, and despite your busy schedule, you have given time for this meeting. Primarily, this is a ITPIO organization that we have recently started in the DC chapter. The objective and what is the purpose we would be able to discuss. Prior to this, we also had it in Bay Area. We had excellent response, and we would like to go in detail about what we are and what we are looking to achieve. What is that we are trying to do together. So IT professionals of Indian origin. Primarily, if you see the Indian technology professionals today, especially in the last decade, good number of people are throughout the world. We have been able to create a landmark in almost every facet of the industry. I wouldn't say that we are specifically focused on specific areas alone. People have penetrated into several aspects, and we all should be proud of, and we are one among them too. 10-15 years ago, or maybe 2 decades ago, this kind of thing was unheard of. The opportunities that we have got coming from back in India, I would not shy myself to say that 2 decades ago, I would see that only people from IITs and IIMs would be getting an opportunity to come here for further studies and getting jobs in countries like US. Today, it is so good to see that people from very remote villages who have had very little exposure of, big cities, people who directly come from small villages and landing directly in US. They haven't even seen big cities like Bombay, or maybe haven't had chances to live in big cities, but they have come directly for education and further getting pursuance into job opportunities. So there is certainly a large amount of Indian professionals and students who are turning to be professionals coming to this field. I'm sure there is some relevance for us to be together and do something together. I would also say that it is not that each one of us have been lacking in any of the issues. We are quite smart and quite intelligent, hardworking. Coming back from India with all the competition, that we have seen that. Working in an offshore environment, it's not that easy. People work 18 hours, 20 hours. Every professional who have come from back in India, they would have been sweating so hard to come to this and make this opportunity. So there is no doubt individually each one of us would have accomplished, would have been successful in making things happen. However, there are certain things that we can also appreciate among ourselves. How many of us have created or penetrated into research and development or product development? There are a lot of people working for Microsoft or product companies like big companies like IBM or name it, several companies. But the percentage of people working in traditional IT services is quite in large number, because requirements are also for IT services more. However, pursuance of going in altitude, traveling in the same field, expertising in specific areas has always been a challenge. You find a more number of people in the, people from China, for example. You could see a lot of people with research and completing their doctoral programs and getting into the more hardcore areas. Not that that is the only area. I mean, definitely Indians have created a lot of people working in those areas, and a lot of examples we have. But the kind of learning curve, the kind of education that we have, what we aspire for, in overall sense, if you see, Indians who are hardworking, who wanted to make it a fortune in their life, in their professional career, each one of us have tried hard in our own way to come to US or to come to overseas countries like this. But in good number of percentage, to my personal observance, I have myself seen that same hard work or pursuance comes down once they see the dollars in hand. Because once you come to this land, we feel that we have achieved. And what we have sought for to come to this country has been obtained. So we feel that we have reached some stage where we don't need to move further. That urge or that maybe fire in the belly, what we had back in India, comes down in a large proportion. And we tend to become docile ourselves, and we are not able to see a lot of people coming in higher altitudes after that. There could be many reasons. It could be personal. We are more Indian society teaches that you have to be self-contented and be a happy family man. There is no doubt about that. And we are all happy as a family back in US, even though we come from far away from our motherland. But what is the punchline I would like to create here is, there is a lot of gaps that we have identified amongst the IT professionals, which other fields have been able to achieve over a period of time. For example, if you take doctors in this country, they have had tough times, more challenges than IT professionals, I would say. There are a lot of recognition issues, the challenges that they felt, and the kind of path that they have come through a lot of challenging situations. Today, IT has, is prevailing throughout the world, and requirements for technology, solutions and services to offer has improved very, very highly. So every requirement, we are able to see an opportunity, and we are quite successful in that also at the level in which we are able to fill up fast. But there are a lot of lacunae, or I would say gaps which are being felt, which in the recent past we are able to see a lot of Indians are catching up. But there has been a lack of appetite for our people, or maybe getting into the management, or how many good project managers India has evolved, or how many people have been successful project managers compared to what the exposure that we have got in the technology side. I would say with my personal observation, which could be also probably a biased opinion, but I would have to share with you my observation that we have had a lot of gaps over there. As much as we have been quite successful in technical, we were not able to really see a lot of managers who are successfully coming out of Indian origin. The reasons could be very many, but if you see from the scientific point of view, I am able to see that we are individually very talented. That is a problem of all the reasons, I would say, in every facets of our country. We are individually very talented, very highly intellectual, has a zeal to achieve. A lot of people have achieved. But everybody cannot be only a scientist. Today the discovery, what the world needs, certainly there are a lot of requirements, but that is not the only prerequisite for every thing that we need to achieve. That we need a lot of managers and people who manage things. I feel, even in my own company, if I see the number of people who are successful technologically, I find difficulty in getting equal number of managers who would be able to manage people, manage jobs, projects. It has always been a challenge to get a right project manager, but easy to get any technology base. The challenge has been because we basically are very much oriented towards self-development, and we are good at it, which is very much needed. But collectively, how good are we? How good are we as a collective person? We are able to successfully